We must stop the terror. Now watch this drive.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
We are back after a long wait. We're here. Another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. A little different setup, huh? Just slightly different. The building is on fire. Here we go. Upcoming stand-up dates. Let's get this out of the way. July 20th in Bloomington, Minnesota. August 7th in Leduc, Alberta. August 10th in Phoenix, Arizona. And then we come back to Edmonton, August 15th and 16th, October 3rd in Fernie, BC, October 4th in Castlegar, BC, October 11th in Toronto, October 17th in Berwyn, Alberta, October 18th in Grand Prairie, October 24th and 25th. Tickets have been updated from the previous date that we had locked in there. And to finalize what is on the books right now, December 5th at Red Deer, Alberta, dangercatshop.com for all of your ticket needs and merch. Head on over there. If you would like an extra episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast, we are back. We're back full time now. Summer is going to be electric. I know for many of you, summer has started, but now it's beginning for me. So if you'd like to support the show, we are back full swing. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. And now let's get into the show. Great to be here with you. Took a little time off, kicked the feet up. We just got back from Austin, Texas. What a trip. What a treat to be down in the Lone Star State. Things are looking up for the boys. We got big news on the show today. Big news on the show today. We're talked about on Kill Tony. Kill Tony. We got a mention on Kill Tony from a guy who bombed. Unbelievable. We have to address some things. Richard Toucher is on the story as we speak. He's breaking it down. There's lots of information surrounding it. So stay tuned to the YouTube channel. We have to discuss this because there were some lies said on Kill Tony that I can't, it doesn't sit with me well. Okay? It doesn't sit with me well. So we have to address these types of things, right? You can't leave it linger. You can't let it sit out in the open and not address it. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? You wouldn't do that, not a listener of this show. So Richard Toucher's on the story. So we're breaking it down. Anyways, Austin, Texas. Had a fabulous time. What a treat it is being down there. Highly recommend checking out a comic by the name of Luke Stam. If you do, comment on his stuff, say Uncle Hack sent you. Wonderful comic. He's very accommodating, so shout out to him. On top of that, also to Adam Lucky down there. Had us on the panel for Roast Battle Austin. That was a treat. It was a pleasure to be a part of that. Plenty of great shows that took place. The Sunset Strip. Also, thank you to you guys as well for allowing us to put on and produce our own show. In none other where the secret show happens. And we were very happy to be a part of the Austin comedy scene. And I say we, and because it's Uncle Hack and Brendan, I cannot speak on the behalf of Sam Walker and Brett Forte. So this is a split personality. When I say we, no, I'm referring to Brendan and Uncle Hack. Two very dangerous characters, according to the local media in this town. And speaking of what people are saying, the Calgary Stampede is going on. Will I be attending? No. Why? Not my thing, but we have to cover some of the talking points around the Calgary Stampede. And if you want all the extracurricular activities that take place at the Calgary Stampede, be sure to follow Brett's Instagram story, who also just dropped a doc about the Saudi princess with a lot of shout outs to begin the show. I'm sorry. That it's been a while. I feel like I'm a rapper that just, got signed to a big deal, or I got drafted to the NBA here. Shout out to my dog out there in Austin, Texas, bro. He be there for more than my own family and shit. But Brett just dropped a doc on his YouTube channel. Be sure to go check that out about a Saudi princess. She faked being a Saudi princess in this documentary, landed her in the clink. So that is also out. A lot of people upset over the prime minister going to the Calgary Stampede and putting on cowboy clothes. This is what is upsetting folks. It's not that the economy is crashing before our eyes. It's not that homelessness is rampant throughout the country, throughout the nation. It is not the fact that our healthcare system is crumbling beneath us. It is not the fact that crime rate is through the roof. People are being injured just by taking transport to their jobs and leaving said jobs. It's not those things. It's the fact that the prime minister and the, leader of opposition, he doesn't even hold a seat right now, but we're upset that Pierre Poilievre are wearing cowboy clothes. And this is why when I go to America, I spend a majority of my time convincing Americans we're up to no good right now, so you better invade. We will continue to boo your national anthem until you invade. So stop being cowards and do it. I talk a tremendous amount of shit while I am down in the United States of America. And to that, I say to the folks that were parading around screaming that elbows up bullshit, buckle up. The war is coming to your front door. All because of me, okay? And now when I say that, you better get the elbows up. You've been talking about the elbows up. I want you to put your money where your mouth is, because that's what I do when I go down to America, is I talk a tremendous amount of shit. And it's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for my own personal beliefs or anything like that. I just want to see people step up to their words, okay? So now I spent 8-9 days down in the United States of America, okay? I'm spreading the word that there are plenty of geriatrics that were walking around the country saying, elbows up, they want to fight, so bring it to the front door. It's now that time, okay? View this. This can be North America's whatever. Ukraine, Russia, I'm tired of flags in the bio. Everybody's chanting they want war, war, war. Let's bring it to the front door and see if the elbows do indeed stay up when an M16 pumps rounds into your chest. And can you fire back? No, because the criminal code here would constitute that you would go to jail for using excessive force. So keep in mind, you better find a very clever way to avoid any form of war crimes, and also be able to defeat and stand up to, what you were preaching. You said Mark Carney's going to be the guy to stand up to Donald J. Trump. Well, are you going to be a Canadian that stands up to the Americans, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I want a 51st state. I'm not going to sit here and say that I want to be a part of the United States of America. I just want to see people live up to what they say. And with that being said, you thought COVID killed a lot of people. Wait until the Yankees get up here, because I was saying some very nefarious things to these people. I was saying some things that you wouldn't even whisper into the devil's ear to convince these people that they need to get to Canada and shut it down. John Taffer's kicking in the front door, and he's coming in, shut it down. So prepare yourself. That's all I'm really getting at right now. And I hope to God, we can get over this hump of sitting here and trying to, carve the leaders of political parties over the clothing that we've worn. Are we not over that? We had a prime minister for the past decade who played dress up every weekend. We're over the dress up phase. Can we stop pretending like we care what they wear? We don't. This is not Queer Eye for the straight guy. This is not that. This is not a fashion show on TLC, okay? Nobody is really, do you really care if Pierre Poilievre puts on a cowboy hat? We all know that they're getting butt fucked at the what was just in Canmore? The G7. They're all getting together and butt fucking one another. We already know that this exists. The prostitution is it's through the roof. You got high-end hookers that fly out to suck these guys off. It's very devious of what these people get up to, okay? There's much worse that they get up to in the public eye than if they put on a plaid shirt and go flip pancakes wrong. You think these people know how to flip pancakes? Come on. We sit here. I had a laugh. I'm not going to lie. I had a laugh, 2 years ago, whenever it was. I believe it was 2 years or last year, whenever it was. But Trudeau flipping the pancakes and he botches it. It just tells you how simple these idiots are. That's it. They do not hold the know-with-all on how to cook a very simple breakfast item. That is how useless these folks are. Okay? They are in positions that are controlled to just, give you the illusion that the choice that you made at the polls was that's the one. We did it. We made it through. Okay. And when we sit here and we criticize them over the fact that they can't flip pancakes, they don't care. They're happy that you're doing that. In fact, they're ecstatic that you're sitting there and being like, oh, I can't believe this jackass is wearing a plaid. He's dressed like a cowboy and can't even make silver dollar pancakes. What is this guy, a prick or something? Is this guy a moron? No, he thinks you're a moron because you're sitting there and skipping past all the dirty things and tricks that he's pulled the wool over your eyes. You're a moron. You're more mad over the fact that he can't flip a pancake. How many times do we have to go over this, folks? How many times do I have to sit here and turn this podcast on and just fucking, my brain just wants to explode over the stupidity that I got to witness day to day. Every time I turn on the fucking news, I look at this and I think to myself, I try and put myself in someone's shoes that believes this. And what are they feeling? When they watch this, what are they feeling? Anger? Angst? Are they upset? I'm tired of listening to, again, with the border. Hey, people are getting, they're throwing people in the clink. Then have the paperwork. Canadians are getting thrown into detention centers. And have the paper. What do you want me to say? I just went. I was fine. Well, you're white. Pfft. Oh, no. Oh, poor me. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do about that? You want me to do something? Because if I spray tan, let's say I want to feel a little bit of the, I want to feel a little bit like a minority. I get out the shoe polish and all of a sudden everybody starts freaking out a little bit. One little stroke. And everybody starts losing their mind, and you're upset over it. You're pissed at me because I'm going through the border as a white guy. But then when I want to be a black guy, everybody loses their shit. What do you want from me? Huh? What do you want from me? If I switch skin tones, you're upset at me. If I stay in the regular one, you're pissed. What's a brother supposed to do, huh? I'm trying to be a part of the game. I'm trying to be a part of this. I'm trying to join your side, but you get mad at me. A guy throws on a little blackface. The whole world goes insane. Incredible. But that's what we're losing our minds over. What happened? Okay? What happened? What happened to the good old days in this nation? Where the biggest concern to you, maybe it's growing up, maybe it's, responsibilities have changed in your personal life and now things are a little different. You have to assume the responsibility of raising a child. That's a big thing. That's a big feat. And I applaud those that are doing such. I, however, am not, unfortunately. You don't need me busting in any any V's, fellas. That's what I'm saying. Are you kidding me? Do you need another one of this? What am I going to produce? I can't be busting in V's. What am I going to produce? A scaffolder at best? That's it. That's at best. That's like a dream. That's a dream child. That's a dream child. And some of you are like, I'm a scaffolder. Yeah, exactly. And to me, like that would be a miracle, you know. Very minimum laborer. I got a good laborer. I've shot so many scientists down a fucking drainage pipe. We could have honky doctors for the end of time, but they're gone. They're gone. I am shooting nothing but scaffolders and maybe. And that is like, if, again, we're lucky, hitting the lottery with this one, maybe a welder. That would be like, oh my God, thank God. Whew. Right on, you know? We got ourselves a real genius in the family now. A real winner, if you may. Like it's no different than this podcast. You come to this podcast for an escape, a small escape, because we think similar. And we're both idiots. None of us are in a position where we can sit here and dictate what direction the world goes. We've all come to terms with the fact that the ballot that you slip in at the fucking the voting box doesn't really mean jack. It's a feel-good moment. You get to feel like you did something that day. They blow it out of proportion. You get to feel something for the first time, and God knows how long, like you are a part of whatever change is about to happen. Even though, you're here because of that. You think like that. That's why you're here. You understand, like, you have an important role in the world, but it's not significant. You know what I mean? You understand that when you wake up in the morning and whatever job it is that you do, like in the grand scheme of things, if gun to your head, you just get your brains blown out of the back of your skull, you're replaceable. We all understand that. You don't think I do? You don't think there's a guy behind me waiting to tell the same stupid jokes I do on stage? You don't think that one of them exists? I'm just in the way right now. Until that guy figures it, he might be having the gun to the back of my head and blow my brains out, take my position. We don't know. But I'm just saying a lot of us have recognized that. And that's why you're here, because we connect on that level. Now, when I look out into the world, right? I look out into the world. You go and have a simple conversation with somebody at a bar, a stranger. Bring up work. Bring up their job. And then watch the reaction of what they have to describing that job. And you can see the dreams in their subconscious just like I'm talking teenage first breakup tears. You can see that in the back of their head, just like that's that childhood dream that they had, and something obtainable. I'm not saying they're like, I want to be a dinosaur. No. Like it was like I wanted to, like an actual dream of yours that was obtainable. You know, something that if you put in effort and chased it, it possibly could have blossomed into this life that you were meant to have, but you gave up. Right? And now you have to sit here and explain to a stranger how important it is to market whatever product is put in front of you. You know, you have to sit in a meeting and convince yourself that what you're doing is something greater and bigger than you. You imagine I'm serious right now. I know my pain is coming, the pain of the conversation. Like you talk to, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a marketer for this product that just came out. This product is just, it's wonderful. You know, like this is truly what the world is missing right now. And we believe that we have a new revolutionary way on how to get H2O into a fan that sprays in your face. It just feels like a nice mist. And we're figuring out this new technology that we're putting out into the world. And you got to listen to this person describe this product and put like fake enthusiasm behind it to convince you that they love what they do. You know, that's what's out there. How many meaningless fucking jobs that could be wiped off the planet could be wiped off the goddamn planet, and we would forget about them in probably 3 years. 3 years. So what I'm saying when I say this, enjoy the cookie, okay? Show up late. Who gives a shit? Is the world gonna stop turning because you didn't show up as an assistant? Somebody told me the other day they're an assistant. I said that right. They're an assistant to an assistant. I had to listen to somebody explain to me how they assist the assistant. And I've never wanted to really hit somebody in my life. Just it takes a lot for me to allow words to dictate my emotion to the point of where I want to fucking strike you in the head because what I just heard come out of your mouth sounded so fucking stupid, and that's coming from me. So so what do you get the coffee for? The coffee is given to them to give to. What happens here? They're like, well, I book trips, and what? I book their flights, and then I book, they're explaining this job to me, and I'm thinking like, oh my God, could you imagine every day you have to wake up at 6 a.m. and go do that and just be a butt dog all day long? That's what you do. And then you tell yourself, you look in the mirror, and this is why so many people, when you see somebody commit a large act of violence, and there's a lot of casualties, and you're like, what was the motive there? And it's somebody unsuspecting. Yeah, they drive like a car into a shopping mall and it's floored the whole way through, and they're not drunk. There's no pills. There's no drugs, nothing. And they just fucking snap one day. And that was that's their reaction to the buildup of life. That was their reaction. And they just fucking go haywire on the general public, because it's every day. I said 2 creamers, not 1 creamer. How many times do I have to tell you I want 2 creamers and a fucking squirt of French vanilla? The last one you did was too much French vanilla. Imagine getting ridiculed over putting too much French vanilla in somebody's coffee. Go make your own fucking coffee. You know what I mean? But you got to take that, because if you say anything, you got to put this fake smile, like a serial killer smile on your face, and be like, I'm sorry. When meanwhile, in your head, you're stewing 1,000 ways. Every time you go to bed, you lay there with your eyes closed. An image is played over in your head of how you would murder this individual that comes down on you every day over something so simple, so easy that they could do by themselves. But you're an assistant, and you wonder to yourself, how do these people fucking snap? How do these people it's so easy once you talk to them. There's a glaze over their eyes. You look like you're staring into a glass ball of nothing. There is just, it's like I'm here. Friday night rolls around. I get so fucking drunk, I forget the week. Saturday, I live in agony and pain due to the excessive amount of alcohol I guzzled down my yap, because the moment I left that office, I said, you know what? I'm going for a glass of wine. And that turned into straight shots of Jack Daniels in a dive bar on a north side, and then just a strange dick in you. In this story, it's a female, so we're going to go with that. And you wake up with regret and shame, and it still feels better than whatever the fuck it is you do during the week. Isn't that something? I'm describing a few lives, aren't I? I think we all know somebody in that shoot, and you can change that, but you don't, because it's too unfamiliar. If you got so familiar with the unfamiliar that you're not supposed to be in, that now you sit there and just allow these things to take place in your life until that day happens. And that's what I live for, folks. Like that man. Let's bring that up. see, it took me a while to get there, and then, but it's a good build-up. It's a great build-up. Rick Tarnaski. Now, we want the video. I want the fucking video. So this golf course fight, it's genius. It's brilliant. It's a real, true piece of work. And this is the reaction that we all, you have. It sits inside of you. Golf course fight. Let's get this up. Here we go. Canadian man. Then we'll go to the news article, but I really want to play this more than anything. We have a 2-minute video here. We're all going to enjoy it together, folks. Okay. Now this is, let's get a little juice on it. So obviously golf course, from the context here, is this ex-NHLer is caught behind, and then, you had a few drinks. This is
Get the fuck up there or you're going to get booted the fuck out of here.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're not a tough guy. Hurry up. I'll fucking promise you that. Hurry up.
Yes.
Not that fucking
No, he's
tough.
not.
You know what I mean?
Not that fucking
He's not.
tough.
We've all been here. We've all been out of our league at one point,
You're not tough.
You walk around, you carry your suitcases, you feel good. You're fucking 8 beers deep, or about, what are you on, hole 10? Just dinked, about to hit the back nine.
You can't even. You guys can't even stand and tee your ball up, man.
Hammered drunk.
He's not teeing it up. He's standing
We
there.
need to get the.
After a hard weekend, this is what it's all
Let's
about.
get going here.
We're on days off. Goosed, waned. He's trying to tee it up.
Fucking lake is what's going to happen.
He calls it too.
Fuck you both.
I'll throw him in the fucking lake.
They've been sitting there for fucking 23 minutes.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Fucking cry about it.
Yeah.
Fucking cry
See,
about it.
this is what I'm talking about.
Pussy.
You snap. You snap.
Cry about it. Buddy, you're going to get fucking shit to. I don't give a fuck. Like badly. Good. Let's fucking go, man.
Yeah, the glasses drop is always a key indicator that you're about to get a piss
I'm
pump.
not stopping. No. You guys need to get off the golf course.
Yeah, we will, man.
No, now. Like, pack up, go now. Get in your car and go.
Don't know what you're doing. You're not scaring anybody. You're just making yourself.
Yeah, here he goes.
Come on, man. Hey.
He threw him. Yeah,
Off to a good start, buddy. I fucking told you.
fucking
Want another?
threw him right in the pond. He's got to come crawling out of there. And then it's over here. That is it.
Fucking go, guys. Hey, leave him alone, man. I wouldn't be going back, you fucking moron. Bang. Bang.
Fuck.
I'm not trying to get in there.
Any psychopath that's dinging me and yelling bang.
Enough. Get out. Hey.
Fuck.
Hey. Get him the fuck out of here. No, it's not going to go well.
It's not okay.
Take him home or get him fucking out of here. Fucking get moving. I said stop looking like an idiot.
Get out of here.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That is what we're looking for. Now, that is content, okay? That's what I'm saying. You're out there doing bullshit all day, every day. You hit the golf course, and now you get to release a little frustration. And now, what do we got here? It was a ex-NHLer, right? Where Rick Tarnaski, cleared by the RCMP in Alberta, played 245 games in the NHL between 2005 and 2010. RCMP saying an investigation into a hockey fight on an Alberta golf course involving former, of course, Red Deer. Beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. In a video circulating online, Tarnaski, who is also a current Red Deer minor hockey coach, is seen arguing with another man. Before the man rushes towards him, Tarnaski lifts the man and throws him into a pond. We're getting a play-by-play by the CBC, shouting, "This is gangster right here." You know you're tough when they can write this about you. Tarnaski responds with a series of punches, shouting "bang" with each one before throwing him a second time. Comments about the pace of play on the course appeared to have sparked a confrontation, according to dialogue in the video. Tarnowski, this is what we're talking about. Drop the stats. Tarnowski, 40, played 245 games in the NHL between 2005 and 2010 with the Tampa Bay Lightning, Nashville Preds, and Florida Panthers, recording nearly 300 penalty minutes. He later played several seasons in the AHL before moving into coaching. Corporal Captain, I can't see. Troy Savinov, a public information officer with the RCMP, said officers in Black Falls Detachment received a third-party report about a fight on a golf course, but the complainant had left before the police arrived. Oh yeah, well, if you get your ass kicked like that, you got to get the hell out of there. You can't stick around after a guy hits you with 7 unanswered punches and he's saying bang with each one. You don't get to stick around. You don't get to be a part of the conversation. You have to go. And that and I'm kind of for it, yeah, sure, you had a bad week, you had a few drinks, got a little sauced up on the golf course, you're fucking around, you should have let these guys play through, obviously. I don't know the rules of the course, but you were being an asshole, you held everybody up, and then you paid the consequences, and I like the move of getting the hell out of there before things get a little hairy. Obviously, they're both hammered, so you got to drive, you got to get the fuck out of there, right? That's a tough one to live with, He ate those the only positive that we can say on this show, he ate those punches. He wore them all right. He was still getting up and going back for more, which I kind of respect. But after getting launched the way that he did, that's when you got to kind of be like, all right, I'm a little outmatched here. I'm fighting under, well below my weight class. I'm well below his weight class. I need out. And his buddy steps in, throws in the towel. It was a good, hard fight. We were a little outmatched. You got to have a tough press conference after. Imagine it's not so much the events that are recorded these days. It's the follow up after, because that guy. You're coming home, there's going to be some swelling, right? There's going to be some marks on the face, and that the wife, I assume that this guy is married, and now you got to explain to the wife and kids, you come home, you got your ass kicked on the fucking golf course, and it's like, this is why I don't let you out of the house. This is why you're not allowed to go and do things with people, and it was the only time, this is the first time all summer that he's finally getting an opportunity to go see his good buddy, and we're going to call him Robert in this story, and we're going to make up a backstory with it. These two haven't seen each other in a minute. We fucking made a tea time. They had a few beers, a couple giggles. They got the tunes going. Life's good. But then you start slacking off a little bit. You get a little ornery, right? Life's not going so well. The wife won't fuck you anymore. She's got a little fat. The kids are annoying. The one is getting, your one is convinced that he's a furry. So that's always a difficult thing. It's a tough pill to swallow, right? And then on top of that, problems in the marriage. You're thinking divorce, but you can't quite afford to do it right then. So there's a lot of frustrations in the lifestyle, in the life that you're living. And then you go to the golf course with a good buddy, and then all of a sudden a few drinks and some guy gets hot on your ass and starts talking some shit. You're about to fucking tee off, and finally you'll be like, cry about it. He's been dying to do that. He is the assistant. There's a reason why it took him so long to snap the way he did, because there's restraint, because if you actually snap at your job, your subconscious is telling you not to, but that drunk mind it's a devil on your shoulder. And before you know it, you're getting punched in the face from an ex-NHLer yelling bang every time he strokes you in the chin. And it's unfortunate, isn't it? It's unfortunate. Because now you have to, not only, the video went viral, so there's no escaping it. That's the unfortunate part about the internet. When these types of things happen, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. There's no more lying to the wife. Somebody's recording that. I've seen so many fights at the Calgary Stampede that you got to explain after. And everybody figures out who everybody is right now. It's a complete surveillance state, and we are the worst ones for it. We are recording everything that's happening. It was cool at the Stampede when the Trampede got her back blown out, like a quick little threesome. What was her name again? God damn it. That's gonna, we all know who Alexis Fruling. just took me a second. I'll never forget and I apologize to the wonderful Alexis Fruling. I apologize for not remembering somebody who gave us one of the most historic moments of Stampede history. Okay. And I apologize. I imagine that you are a fan of this show. And I just would like my deepest condolences for forgetting your name. Your actions will always be remembered, and sometimes your name will be slightly forgotten. It always comes back. It always comes back. And we appreciate what you've done for this great province. We've appreciated what you have accomplished in this great province. You went from being just a whore in a back alley to a national, if not international sensation. Most women would not know what to do with that type of fame. They would let it all go to their head, but you capitalized off of it. The best you possibly can, well, that's up for debate. And maybe we get you on the show and we discuss it one time. I know Brett and Sam both had a wonderful discussion with her, and to that, I say I still respect what you've done for Alberta. I feel right now the whores are taking a hit. I think right now we have too many red pill bros making content about how everybody's a slut. This is what we dreamed of as children, right? You're hitting puberty, right? And you didn't know who's a whore or not. And you had to play your cards right. You had to lie. Remember those days when you had to lie? Now what? Everybody's a whore. This is perfect. And now all of a sudden, dudes want relationships? What? Now all of a sudden, everybody's talking about settling down? For years. I remember being a young boy, finally hitting puberty. I don't even know what the girls' things look like at that time. I've only seen them in magazines, never right before my eyes. And it's certainly not going to look like those ones, big, giant, fake bombs. I'm jacking it to something I won't touch for at least 10 years, okay? That's what I was jacking it to, with the thoughts and beliefs that maybe, just maybe, one of them will look at it. Just look at it. Take a peek. I don't know. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. We can figure it out as we go along. We're both tiptoeing. We're in new waters here. I've never seen tits grow. Okay. I'm in a classroom with you every day. That is the most fucked up thing we do to kids. You're sitting there in classrooms with hormones blazing. We're taking a detour and we'll get to the final article, which is hilarious. But we take children going through the biggest chemical change in their bodies, right? And we're putting them around other children who are going through the same process, right? It's a confusing time, very confusing time. My voice is changing. My acne is out of control. My balls just dropped. I have a pube. My dick is growing. My dick is growing. And I don't know what to fucking do. But I'm horny as hell. I just want to I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do it. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know how to convince a woman to show me hers. I got to fail over and over and over again. And then on top of it, keep in mind, I went to a school with 27 fucking people in it. 27 people going through the same changes at the same time. You've basically grown up with these folks. Some people don't even know, they don't spend as much time with their family as I spent with these people. And then all of a sudden something changes, something in my brain switches, and I'm starting to find some of them attractive. This is like family reunion type shit when you're in a classroom that small. And it's rather irritating because I don't want to, I'm going to draw a name. Brittany was my friend. I went to her tea party as a toddler. And now Brittany just got giant knockers out of nowhere. And I'm fucking going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over here because I have testosterone raging through my body. And I've never felt this before. I have sexual rage that I don't know what it is. And I'm trying to decipher that in my fucking head. But somehow I'm looking at Brittany, who was my friend, last week, but now all of a sudden shit changed, and now I'm getting a little hungry. The wolf is in the den. And this little fawn is growing up to be a beautiful little deer, isn't she? And I think it's fucked up that we do that to kids. At least give them you should give them a little time off or relax a little bit with it. And then we scratch our heads why is teen pregnancy through the roof? Oh, I don't know. Some of these kids have now figured out the internet, and the internet has figured them out, and they're feeding them content and being like, this is how to rizz up girls. And then they girls are like, oh yeah, this is and now they're just coming to, and the population is tripling because these kids just can't, they don't know what, you know what I mean? We were all there. You remember high school? I know this isn't a podcast where we should be discussing this type of things, but we all remember that time, don't we? It was rather difficult. And it was exactly what I described to you. Who once was a friend turns into prey. And you are trying to sort that out all in real time while you have a teacher being like, okay, don't do that. You got some fucking old geriatric elbows up, at the front of the classroom trying to teach you sex ed. And you're like, this is how you put on a condom. Listen, I know. I'll just YouTube it. Let's save ourselves both the embarrassment, and I'll just fucking YouTube it. I don't need this shit right now. I just seen the whale tail of a thong for the first time. I seen a female's underwear. It's too much for me to go through in this moment in time. We need to change gears here. This has been fun. Okay, we're back with the military. Let's talk military talk. The military boys are in a little bit of trouble over a Facebook group. Army investigating members allegedly involved in a abhorrent Facebook group. Canada's top soldier says. The Canadian Armed Forces says those involved with the Blue Hackle Mafia could be punished. The Canadian Army is investigating members who allegedly shared what the country's top soldier called abhorrent content with a private Facebook group. According to a statement, Lieutenant General Mike Wright, the Blue Hackle Mafia group featured racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and anti-Semitic comments and images. In the messages to armed forces members shared with CBC News, the Army commander wrote that he is disgusted by the content of some of those posts published on this group. Now, this is where I step in with some common sense. Listen, sure, maybe to the regular day human being, this is not a good look for the Canadian Armed Forces, but lucky for you, I'm going to talk some sense into everybody. First off, who cares? Who cares? If anything, I want these psychopaths in the military, okay? I want these people that find that type of shit funny in the military. I want the most fucked up individuals in there. And now you're telling me when I sign up, I sign my death certificate to go fight a war that we should have no involvement in. I'm supposed to just chill out, not have fun. Let these guys have fun. Okay? If this is their fun, let them have it. We don't need to sit here and hear the thoughts and opinions of the general public. When you pick up a gun and go and do basic training and join the Canadian Armed Forces, I'll listen. Until then, shut the fuck up. Do you think Lieutenant General Mike Wright is really that he cares? This is just to save a little bit of face. So that way, the media isn't running wild about this, right? The CBC now has a story because people are posting memes. Who gives a shit? We're training these guys to go and commit war crimes, okay? That at the end of the day, we're training these guys to go to a foreign part of the world and commit war crimes. But over here in this perfect little bubble that we live in, because we don't hear air sirens to tell you to get into a bomb shelter because missile strikes are on their way. We have to be upset about what those guys are doing, like who will be going over to those areas are posting on a Facebook group. We should not be in said Facebook group. If you are in said Facebook group, shut up. Let these guys have their fun. I'm not about to get in, and if there's a guy that's not about to get in the way of some fun and has said some things on the internet that are quite questionable that has upset said reporters with the CBC, I'm right alongside these fellas. Only difference is I'm not learning how to use a rifle in combat, okay? I go on a stage and I say obnoxious things for your entertainment. I'm not going over to fight in a war, so maybe I am a little more... Maybe I've pushed myself into the crosshairs a little more than what these guys should because they don't deserve this. Let them have their fun on a Facebook group. This is our concern. This is what we're scratching our heads about right now. This is what people are upset. Wright calls that it's abhorrent. Of course, he has to say that. He's in a position of power. These guys have made, I guess, what the general public would be, oh my God, say it's exactly what we thought. Yeah, that's who you want over there. Wright called the group's content abhorrent and warned of consequences. I have ordered that any serving Canadian Army members currently on this social media group immediately cease their participation. Wright said that the contents reported up the chain of command as recently as December, and that he was made aware of the alleged misconduct June 25th. A message from the Office of the Canadian Armed Forces Provost Marshal, also shared with CBC, said complaints about the private Facebook group were first investigated by military police in Ottawa. Of course, that city's zero fun. Said complaints about the private Facebook group were investigated by the police in Ottawa and were later transferred to the unit to conduct disciplinary investigation. Those investigations are meant to determine if there are sufficient grounds to believe a serious offense may have been committed. The transfer to the unit for a disciplinary investigation was considered the best use of options available in the military justice system in this case. Yeah, they're going to a war zone. They're training to fight for the freedom of this nation. If they want to post a racist meme, by all means, if I was prime minister, I would say, okay, next. What else you got? Don't care. Womp womp. I want psychopaths in my military. You know? Now think of this. I'm a foreign nation. I can destroy your whole military by convincing dudes to be dudes? Oh no. It looks like you're going to have zero members because bros that sign up and are successful soldiers are that, unfortunately. I've met a lot of veterans, very cool people, very dark sense of humor, and I don't blame them for the things that they've been through. I met a man whose leg was blown off. Do you think I'm going to sit there and tell him, hey, you shouldn't post memes about Somalians? Do you think I'm going to do that? No, because my leg's attached. I would never sit there and trying to read you can't post that. You got bullet wounds. You have scars from bullet wounds. And I'm supposed to sit here and let you know what's appropriate and inappropriate? I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to move on and I'm going to let this guy enjoy his time on the planet because he did things most of us are too big of a coward to do. And that's when you just shut your hole and you move on. You know, you go and be an assistant. That's what you do. You go do that. You don't comment on this, okay? Because these guys are doing things that you fantasize about. When you leave your day job and you head home, some of you pick up a controller, put a headset on and play virtual war all day, all night on your little time off, right? That's what you do. These guys are doing it for real. So I don't think any of us have the privilege of sitting around and telling old hombre that he shouldn't put an anti-Semitic meme up. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? But these are the people I want. I want twisted people in the military. I want something like if a foreign country investigated this Facebook group and they were a little worried, that's good. That's good. I need somebody coming out and being like, this is abhorrent. Shut up. I don't need to hear that. I'd be like, yeah, that's what we have. If I was him, you want to know here we go. We're at a press conference. We're going to riff this out. What's his position? What was his position again? I'm Lieutenant General, Uncle Hack. You ready for this? They hit me. They're like, well, what do you think about what are the consequences going to be for the soldiers that were a part of the Blue Hackle fucking mafia? I don't like, pardon me? Consequences? These types of men are rewarded. Okay? Under my reign of power, this type of behavior is rewarded. What am I doing? Huh? What am I doing? Are we going to a ballet? You want me to twirl for you? Is that what you want? You want me to spread my pussy on a stage for you to throw loonies and toonies at? Is that what you want? Is that what you want back there? You want a bunch of pussies on the front line? That's what you're telling me. Because that's what it sounds like when you tell me that, when you ask me that question. I want nothing but psychopaths. I want them frothing at the mouth when I drop them off in Syria. And they want that first kill. They want that ISIS kill. They want fingers around on a necklace, okay? And I want that for them. Because those are my boys. Those are my boys. All of them. Under my wing. You understand me? What did you do? Oh, you went to school for 4 years at Ryerson University so you could get a journalism degree to ask me the stupidest question I've ever fucking heard in my life? That's how long it took you. It took you 4 years to go. You want to know what I'd do with one of them in 4 years? Give me 6 months. While you were scratching your pussy and giving it a sniff and figuring out how the English language worked, I was building psychopaths. And I put them in Apache helicopters with a minigun to mow down a town/hamlet you've never heard of. And you never will. Because all that information is classified. And it was a war crime, okay? It was a war. It would give you nightmares what I trained these men to do. So while you were giving a scratch and sniff on your fucking cat, I'm pumping out some of the greatest soldiers you've ever witnessed. This is my press conference too. Keep in mind, I'm not breaking character. Not for anybody, not no one. Well, General, don't you think that it is a bit absurd and abhorrent that these gentlemen are posting said things on Facebook for people to see inside of this private Facebook group? Doesn't it give the military a bad image? And this is where I fucking snap. Bad image? A bad image? That I have a fleet of Charles Mansons? That's a bad image. I'm putting the fear of fucking God into those cocksuckers over in Iran, China, Russia. What do you think's cooling them off right now? Do you think it's Mark Carney going over there and being like, hey, can you knock it off? You think it's Donald fucking Trump going over there and be like, well, we need to stop the war? No. It's not. Sure, it's them saying those words. It might be them saying those words, but they think past those words and they think of fucking me. Okay? They think of me and they think of all the mutants that I have over there. I'm pumping these guys full of steroids. They're jacked on testosterone. And like I said, war crimes will be committed. And we were going to sweep them under the rug so fucking deep that you would need a Hoover vacuum as powerful as a wind turbine on a jet engine. I don't know if that makes sense, but do you understand the suck you would have to do to pull those crumbs out of that carpet? I don't think you do. That's how deep we are going to sweep it. You simple bitch. And by the time you even think of fucking uncovering this, by the time you even get a sniff close to this, we are so fucking far gone from it. We've destroyed 3 other countries. We've propped up a dictator in them. We're sniping their mineral rights from underneath them because we put a fucking moron in power. And that's my work. Because a bunch of psychos decided to post some anti-Semitic shit in a Facebook group. Do you understand me, woman? Now take your little muffin and get the fuck out of my face. Would that not jack you up? If somebody came out and talked like that, it would shatter the ecosystem. It was like that right there is like when Trump talked to Zelensky in front of the public eye and gave him a spanking. That's what you need. You don't need this shit. What are you doing? This is abhorrent. Not to who? To who? Uptight fucking honkies that graduated from some university with a degree that nobody gives a shit about. A degree that got them into a sales position. You know, what are you? I'm a cashier. Good for you. Well done. $30,000 in student debt to ring in groceries. You did it. Congratulations. You're an assistant. But I'm tired of this shit. This is what I'm tired about. I'm tired of people coming out. Let's be real for a second. No one cares. We act. We pretend that we have to care. That's who comes out. People who pretend that they care come out and they say this shit. Like right here. In 2021, the National Security and Intelligence Review Agency, one of the country's independent watchdogs, it issued a report warning white nationalism is an active threat to the Canadian Armed Forces and stressed that more resources are needed to effectively address this issue. Now, white supremacist groups actively seek individuals with prior military training and experience. Oh, well, maybe make it a bit more inviting for these guys to stay. Why don't you do that? Then you have them at your beckon. You can beckon these goons. You have a fucking... This is how stupid they are. This is how dumb they are because it wasn't look good. Who gives it? When is war good? When is war good? And I'm not sitting here advocating for white nationalism. I'm just saying it's probably better that they are in the military than out of the military. Oh, you spent all that money training them. And now they got to come up with an analysis to like, we don't know how to fix the problem. Yeah, keep them in the military. Keep these guys in the military. Give them something to do. Ask the Americans to start another war that we can just go kind of dabble in. Give these guys something to do. You're going to do it anyways. You do these peacekeeping missions and they never go. Are they peacekeeping? Who gives a shit? Give the guy a gun and let him walk around Africa. Let him feel big about himself. Do you give a shit? Do you give a shit? At least he's over there. He's not doing it over here. You know? Is it that hard to scratch your head about? I don't get how fucking stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's right there in front of your goddamn eyes, and nobody can see. We got a white supremacist problem in the Canadian Armed Forces. These groups actively seek individuals with prior military training and experience, and conversely, encourage individuals to enlist in order to gain access to specialized training, tactics, and equipment. Yeah, keep them there. Keep them there. You gave them a job. You gave them a job, and they'll probably be pretty fucking good at it too. Like, here, a 2020 CBC News investigation of a Canadian Ranger unit uncovered how Eric Migland, British Columbia reservist who openly supported 2 far right-wing groups, was allowed to continue serving even after he had been identified by military counterintelligence and interviewed as a potential threat. Yeah, he's on your side already. He's on your team. You know what I mean? When you have a government that's villainizing these guys, of course they're going to fucking turn on them. In fact, Parliament should have no fucking business in this shit, in this world. A bunch of dorks in suits who knew nothing about this. Diplomats are fucking retards. Let the military just be the military. Right here. In 2021, a U.S. judge sentenced former Manitoba Army reservist Patrick Matthews to 9 years in prison for charges related to what the FBI described as a neo-Nazi plot to instigate a race war in the United States. Oh, So you could have had this guy on your team the whole time and used him for the race wars that you guys start at the highest degree. We can agree, it's a bit of a race war when you send Americans over to Afghanistan. Seems to be a certain demographic over there that you would consider Afghani, right? Is that a race of people? Is it brown people? I don't know, however you want to cut the pie. But I mean, you had him in your pocket and now you don't because you let it slip through your fingers because you're dumb. And I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying you could have had him. You could have had him. Is it not that hard to figure out? Am I insane for thinking this? Probably. Should I say it out loud? Absolutely not. But is it the truth? Because we run from the truth. You had him. You have your team. Is it an all-star team? I don't know how good these guys are with guns, but obviously he's probably decent enough if he thinks that he's going to kick off the race war in the United States. It's going to have something to do with that. He probably has something built up in his brain when you could have used that brain to infiltrate, I don't know, make fucking Zambia. You get the oil rights in Zambia with a guy like that. Hey, listen, this is what I want you to do. Okay, incite a war where blacks are killing blacks. That guy will come in his pants. You were going to do it anyways. You try to do this fake ethical route and it's nauseating. It's gross. Give it to this idiot. Give it to that moron. He'll do it with passion in his heart. And that's what we're lacking. That's how you end up as an assistant's assistant. And with that being said, head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/DangerCat69. We appreciate all support of the show. We are back. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. We appreciate you. We will see you soon, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week, Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We appreciate you being a listener of this show. Take care, everybody.